Hello and welcome. How are you? I'm coming to you live today. This is Alicia of the Shard and Sign Shack. Let me turn my volume up there and figure out how, there we go, to get to my secondary device so I can see comments. I figured it out. So I'm hoping today to be able to flip it upside down too while I'm doing the live. I hope so anyhow. Oh no. Okay, my words are, hold on a minute. Okay, now my words are correct. Hopefully I can do that on my live later, and I'm going to flip it so I don't have to move what I'm painting, and it'll be towards you, but it'll be a mirror image. So I'll be able to see what I'm doing because I'm going to paint some bunny fur today. So we're going to have a fun bunny. Hello, as you're hopping on. Hello, Patty. Hello, April. Thank you, April. I was just messing around. I had a couple extra minutes. Hi, Bonnie. Hi, Judy. Hi, Mary. I missed a lot of hellos. Hello, Rhonda. Hello, everyone. As you're hopping on, please make sure to sprinkle. And please make sure the sprinkling means to do this. It helps me grow. It helps the Stencil Smith grow. And that's my biggest goal, to have the Stencil Smith grow as a company, because I really truly believe, hi Judy, hi Sherry, hi Pamela, hi Val, it's the best company out there. So if you wouldn't mind doing this, our giveaway today for sprinkling is going to be this cute little bunny butt. It's a little mini one with one overlay. Hello Spring. So it's kind of similar to what we're doing today, but it's just a little one. So make sure you sprinkle, and make sure to write sprinkled in the comments, because if you have a private page, which a lot of people do, we can't see if you've sprinkled. So you have to write sprinkled in the comments, and April will enter you. Hello, Arlene. Hi, Rhonda. How are you? Hi, Mary. We're going to be doing some fun bunnies today. This is the stencil we're doing today, which is super cute, very kind of similar. The bunny butt with carrots, bunny kisses, and Easter wishes. I'm going to be showing you how I paint the rabbit fur, and to pretty up the carrots a little bit, add some little shading and stuff like that. I'm going to set this over here. Let me turn my notifications off. I just realized I did not do that. My do not disturb. There we go. That's better. Otherwise, I get text during the live and it can be very distracting. So this is the number. It's 8776, and this is a large. You can screenshot it if you want now, or the link is above. This video will post after the live, and there will be a link to this one that's I'm doing today. And it is on sale today for 20% off. You save an additional 15% with my code SignShack, which you can save every day of the week. Anytime you order, if you use SignShack, you can save 15%. So it'll be 35% for both of them, which is a great deal. So I'm going to set this back over here. And I wanted to show you my little guy I was working on today. I just got him finished. I just fell in love with this stencil when I saw it. It's the new Valentine's minis. We go together like PB&J. I added some fun polka dots to the side and did a little sprinkling, speckling of the colors on the front. But I just thought this was absolutely adorable. Look at their little smiles, and it's just so cute. PB&J go good together, I think. So I'm going to set that aside, but I did want to show you that. I'm excited too because I am working. What I have done is I bought sand ply. It's called 1/4-inch sand ply. I'm going to angle you down now. And I bought it from the Home Depot. And I did go ahead and blend some paints and paint this so we would be ready. Thank you, girls, for the live. but it's the same technique as I used last week. I've got a little bit of dirt down here, so I used a combo of this brown raw sienna and burnt umber. And I'll post a picture of the, are these not, did it flip again? Oh no, it's right. Okay, I'll post a picture. I did post a picture after the live last week of all the colors I used. So I used these, and then I also used, to do the sky, this turquoise blue, whispering turquoise, and warm white. And I did the same technique that I did sand ply. It comes in a 4x8 sheet, so it's already been sanded. So see, it's a 1/4 inch, and this is what's left of the sand ply. It's only a 1/4 inch thin, but it's already been sanded down. It's got a pretty good finish on it. Usually one side's really good and one side does have some wood filler in it, but it's really good. And if you ever buy frames from Craft Deals, it's, I think, what they make theirs out of. These, I use my router. I don't know if you saw my picture, but this, I stained this ahead of time with my Jacobean stain. And so this is, you can see how we routered it. My sister was here this week and she showed me how to router. And so we created a frame, which I'll put on at the end for this picture, just like this. And it's a little rough because when I did paint it, I used some water to blend the paint. So I am going to take, and like I said, if you have any questions about this kind of background, I did it on the last live. So you can go back and watch last week's live. Just get whatever colors you want, some water, wet it. But I wanted to spend some time on like the carrots and the bunny here and stuff today. So I'm going over this. This is just the packing paper. Well, if I don't flip it, that comes with, you know, like your Amazon packages and stuff. And I just am going to give it a real light sand here. And it smooths it out because when you use water on wood, it does tend to raise the grain of the wood. So it can get, and this doesn't take any paint off, it just smooths it out real nice and smooth. It's like the finest sandpaper that you could use. I do want to, this dirt, and I'm going to try this. See, like this. I'm going to try this for the first time. Let me see if I can do it right. Okay, and I think the wording will still be, is the wording still correct? No. Well, shoot. Okay. Let's see. Maybe it's, okay, I'm trying to figure something out here. Let me see something. It's the first time I've ever done it. Flipped it towards you. Easter kisses. Okay, well, I guess that's not going to work. Sorry to flip you all over the place. Okay, so I will do most of this towards you, but then when I do the bunny hair, I'll probably turn it sideways. It's hard for me to do something like that upside down. So what I'm going to do is I want to speckle this dirt a little bit. So I'm going to get a piece of paper over here. And I'm just going to kind of cover up right there because I just want to speckle the sand, and I want to get a little bit of this dark burnt umber. I want to give it a little bit of texture. I'm out of that white. Let's open this one. And a little bit of white. And maybe even a little bit of the black. And I want to make the dirt speckled. It'll give it a little bit of, like I said, texture and stuff. Let me find, where is the one? You would think I would have this already. The one I like to use, well, I'll use this one. It's a big one. So I'm going to wet my brush. I have a brush here and I'm going to wet it. And I'm going to get a little bit of this paint, this thin paint. And I like to practice it before I start speckling. And I'm just hitting it against my finger. You could also hit it against another brush. That way you don't hurt your finger, because that does sting just a bit. And it's just water, you know, you want to water it down just a little bit. And get some speckles in there on the dirt. And I'm going to rinse that out. And it's still going to be wet, and I'm going to get a little bit of this dark brown. Well, that's too watered down. Okay. And I'm going to start just speckling that a little bit. And I'm going to get a little bit of this black here, I think. Speckling is fun, but it is also messy. And I might add just a little bit more white in there. Okay. Oop. I'm going to flip that yet because it's large, that piece of sand ply. So I've got that speckle down there. I'm going to move this piece of paper aside. And like I said, I just wanted that on the dirt. And I'll wipe it off up here, but it gives it, can you see how it makes it look? Let's see, a little more like realistic. It's got a little bit of texture, like it's not all one color, the dirt there. So let me get a wet wipe here. And I'm going to just wipe off where I went a little too high with the sprinkles. Got a little too wild. And I think that looks good. What do you think? Do you like that? Let me get a baggie here. So I'm going to give it a quick dry. Ooh, that would be fun. Yeah, sprinkling some cocoa. That would be fun. Hi, Julie. How are you? Uh-oh. Okay, I'm going to give this a quick dry because I don't want to lay my stencil down on it. Yeah, cinnamon would be cool. And I'll probably add a little bit of grass here and there after I do the bunny with the rake brush. I'm going to do the bunny with the angle brushes. I want to make sure those bigger ones are dry because I got some big blobs down there. That's what makes it neat. Some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller. Hi, Leah. How are you? Hi, Becca. I hope you're feeling better, Julie. Okay, that's good because that's the biggest one right there. So this has one overlay, and when your stencils come, if you're new to the Stencil Smith, they're numbered, and it'll tell you whether there's 1, 2, 3, 4 overlays. Hi, Liz. How are you? So this is what I am doing today. This is the overlay, the bunny butt and the little feet, which is super cute. And this is the stencil. And I am going to kind of center it here. I need to come up on this. There we go. And I'm going to start stenciling. I think I'm going to do the words in white. So I'm going to get some more warm white out here. This is a little watered down and it does have some brown in it. So I'll get some over here. And I am going to tape it down to, I have 2 pieces of tape here from earlier. And I like to tape my stencil so it doesn't shift on me when I'm stenciling. And I'm going to start stenciling. I'm going to get probably a 1/2 inch brush. Yeah, the bunny. I think I'm going to get a 1/2 inch brush. And I have to get one of my shop towels, which I like to use shop towels to offload. So if you're stenciling, the Stencil Smith brushes are the absolute best. You get a little bit of paint on your brush. And you can see it kind of on the top there, just on the tip of your brush. It's harder because it's white. And the biggest key to stenciling is offloading. You don't want to have bleeds, so you need to offload. And that's just simply putting the paint on and taking it off. So I'm just going to start swirling around here, and I'm actually just going to go over everything in a little bit of white ahead of time, I think. I have been using gray as an undercoat. This isn't a super dark background, but especially here, because it's 2 different colors, sometimes that can be a pain in the butt to cover equally. So sometimes I go over it with like a white or a gray where there's 2 different colors of paint there. And I'm just simply getting a little bit of paint and offloading. And I didn't mean to do my little tops of the carrots in white, but I did. So I'll just do the other one. But you just, oh, I have too much paint on there. I can already tell when I put it down, but I'm not. I don't know if I didn't offload good enough or even offload. So I'll just go over this with a little bit of white too. But if you have a dark background or a 2-tone background like this, it's always helpful to do a solid color. Usually gray. I like gray a lot underneath it, because some colors are more translucent and it takes a lot to cover them up, and you can see the difference. Gray is the best, but I already have the white out. I really like the gray the best, but I'm going to just do a white. And I didn't even have to offload there because this is such a big area. I'm going to need to get some more warm white out here. I hope everybody's been having a wonderful day. We were 60 here yesterday. And see, when it's this big, you can kind of start in the center, not offload, and go outwards, and it offloads for you. But don't do this unless you're comfortable doing it. I should have just done the tan color I'm going to do now that I'm thinking about it. Now with our bunny, we're going to want an undercolor, like his underwear is on. So really like these areas is where you want to focus on, because it will show up the difference where the color changes underneath. Like I said, gray is the best, I think, or like a light blue, a real light kind of gray blue can be really nice. But I had white out because I'm doing the words in white. So I'm just going to go with white. I'm not a fan of cleaning brushes, although using the Stencil Smith, the cleaner that they provide, which is this right here. If you don't have it, the brush cleaner. No, it's still right. The brush cleaner, and I don't know where my heart scrubby is, but there's oh, there it is. And the little heart scrubby it makes cleaning your brushes so much easier, and they do sell these on their website. And so I am going to go on these carrots, especially where the two colors are coming together. I just want to get a little bit of a base, because orange is another one of those colors that is really funny. So you definitely want to have like it the same color where they come together. And I'm not getting it really dark or anything. Easter, my daughter and I were just talking the other day. I had no idea even when it was, but it's pretty late this year, I guess. And I think last year it was pretty early. But I've been wanting to show you how to paint one of these bunnies for a while. It's real fun. And while I've got the white out, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to do the words one more time. I hope I didn't. No, I didn't bleed, but I know here I didn't offload enough. Freezing rain. Freezing rain. It does. It fits perfect in your hair or your hand. You are right, Bonnie. Yeah, we were 50. I mean, you're a little more south of us, Rhonda, but to be 50 in February is a blessing in Northeast Ohio, and it was really nice. And today it's just freezing. My husband was going to go out for a little bit while I was doing my live, and he took one look outside and he's like, yeah, I'm staying home. He was going to meet some buddies. But he decided not to. So again, you just want to lightly swirl. You don't want to push it down in there real hard because you don't want it to go under your stencil. I like to keep my fingers kind of around where I'm stenciling. It keeps it placed good. And really, once you do that first layer of paint, the paint that you put on it kind of holds it down too, which is nice. So we're gonna do Easter wishes. Yeah, bunny kisses and Easter wishes. My son has bunny. He has those, is it the lop-eared or something like that they're called? They're beautiful. The one has blue ears. It's such a pretty bunny. They have Benny, and I forget what the other one's name is. They used to have Olive, but Olive passed away. But they have another one, but they just love their bunnies. Their bunnies and their dogs. 70s. Heat wave, mid-80s. Oh, you're so lucky. 75. Oh, my goodness. That sounds so nice. Hey, Heather, how are you? I hope they got that heat smell figured out. So I've got the Easter wishes, bunny kisses. I've done that twice. Now I'm going to go in with some orange for my carrots. Let me put, I know I have a baggie here. Let me find it. So when you have your brushes and you don't want them to dry out, put them in your baggie with a little wet wipe, and it'll keep them moist until you can clean them. And plus you may use it again. So I'm going to use some orange on the carrots. Of course, green up here. So I think I'm going to use a little bit of this forest green on the tops, and we'll do a little bit of highlighting with some other colors for that. And then, not sure, bright orange. Spiced pumpkin. I think I'm going to try bright orange and see what that gives me. I feel like it should be bright and springy. Oh, isn't that nice? And then the undercolor for the bunny is not going to be white. It is going to be a tan color. You could do a gray color. You just want to do like a darker color for the underwear. I think I'll do this orange for the carrot. Ooh, no, I don't like that, I don't think. I don't know. Let me see. I'll put them both out and see. Yeah, I like that one better. So I'm just going to put this one back. I hate to waste paint. And I'm going to use this. What am I using? Not the raw sienna. That's what I'm using. So this fawn is what I'm going to use for the underwear for the bunny, or the undercolor, that color. So I think I'll start with the bunny. And again, getting a little bit of paint there if you're new to stenciling, just on your tip. And then you want to swirl it away. You could come in, because this area is so big, I keep forgetting, and swirl outwards like you're offloading, so you don't have to offload. And this is going to be his undercolor, his underwear. It's going to be that underneath. And when you start putting a darker color underneath, just like with the chicks, or you could do a lighter color with dark on top. When you start doing that, you do build some dimension easily because of that color already being there. I have to say, I know some of you, last week when I talked to you, I was talking about how my husband and I were watching American Primeval on Netflix, which is very gory. If you don't like gory, do not watch it. Yeah, I like the darker orange too, Sherry. That bright orange just didn't get it. But let me tell you, that was a good series. We finished it last night, and it was so, this ending was so sad. But not the typical kind of series that I would watch, because I'm not like Western person. Are you one of those people that was like traumatized growing up by like, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with the John Wayne movies, or my husband liked all those Clint Eastwood ones, the spaghetti westerns, you know, the ones that went do-do-do-do, those ones. Those are just not my thing. That's not my genre. So this is kind of like a Western, but it was really good. Very, very good. So if you haven't watched it, I really do recommend it. It's if you like, not if you like, I don't like gore, but it does have a lot of gore in it. It's very good. That bunny has underwear on it. This is his underwear, Patty. Just think of it that way. We're going to do the carrots in that orange, and I think I'm going to get a 3/8 inch, and I did end up using this darker orange, which is a spiced pumpkin. I like that better. I was not digging that bright orange. So we're going to get this carrot all colored here. We'll do some shading. We'll do some fur. We'll add a little bit of grass to it, I think. So if you are new to the Stencil Smith, I am the ambassador for the Stencil Smith, and it is this wonderful company that has been around since 2006. It's a husband and wife team. They design their own stencils. They're made in-house, which means they cut them right there as you order them. So you can select different sizes. Nothing's ever out of stock. They have over 10,000 designs, which just seems incredible. There's still some that I have not seen. And which seems really strange, because I've looked and looked and looked. Those new ones that she's coming, I mean, every new one I'm like, oh, that's my favorite. And they all are, honestly. She has some beautiful, I can't remember who. Yeah, the spiced pumpkins are really pretty orange. I think I did use it a lot because he's only half full. on my snowman. If I was using my Fusion Mineral paint, I would probably be using Tuscan, but that's a little brighter. So you just want to make sure you offload. But anyhow, they've been around since 2006. They're a husband and wife team. Their customer service is the best that you can expect anywhere. They take care of their customers like you expect to be taken care of. And I say that honestly, like I'm not kidding you or anything. If you've never ordered from them, they are amazing and you will not be disappointed. So you can see where I went over that with that white, but you could do gray. We could have done this color and avoided the white, but you want to make sure those two colors that aren't matching, because I've done that on my gnomes, a lot of different things, where you have two colors that meet and they don't match. Sometimes it's hard to get them to look the same because they're different colors underneath, if that makes sense. Okay, and we're gonna do these tops of the carrots in, what color is this? It's a green. These are all Deco Arts. This is a forest green. I used a lot of these colors last week. That's a pretty green. And we will use a little bit on, we'll make some grass too with the greens. So again, you want to offload your brush, lightly swirl. Doesn't have to be anything hard. I find swirling very therapeutic. Crafting is my therapy. I could stand out here for hours, and I do, and I look and I'm like, oh my gosh, how could it be that time already? You know, time goes really too fast when I'm crafting. The prep is no fun, and the cleanup isn't that fun, but I love the crafting. But I'm getting better and better at my scroll saw. I just learned how to use the router, which is such a fun tool. Oh my goodness. The ability to make your own frames and designs and stuff like that. We just did one simple frame. We did no miters or anything like that. I'm like, let's keep it simple. But I have so much fun with my sister, and she's very talented woodworking. She built me a closet door, a cabinet door to match my cabinets, a pantry door this week. Well, she had built it about a month ago, but we just got it installed. She said Jeff and I could install it, and I'm like, yeah, no, we'll wait for you. Because she had to put the hinges in and everything. Like, she had to sink, I forget what she used for that. I don't know if that was the biscuit joiner or something. She used some kind of tool for that, a J tool, something. So anyhow, so this is what we've got going on so far. What do I do with my finished items? I sell them, I give them as gifts, and I also have a store about 10 miles from here, and she takes my items too, and I sell them there. So that's what I do with my items. I've built up, I started selling them on Marketplace. So if you're new to signs, and I'm going to do one more coat of this his underwear. Get that nice and on there. But if you're new to sign selling, you can always start out the way I started out, was selling them on Marketplace. And I kept a steady stream. I was always busy doing that. And then I started getting certain customers, and they were repeat customers. And a lot of my customers now, they'll come back to me over and over if they're like gifts for weddings or anything, Christmas, birthdays. I get a lot of repeat customers, which is really nice. So I do a lot of custom work. But these signs that I do for the live, I typically either sell, give away, or I take, like I said, to the place in Middlefield. And my friend puts them in her store. I'm very lucky that she does that for me. But that is how I started out, just selling on Marketplace. And I took a class a long time ago about doing lives because I had no idea how to do one, even flip the camera, anything like that. And I used to be the world's shyest person. Like, I would get anxiety if I was going to a party not knowing what to say. But age makes you the person that you should have been when you were younger, I think. You know, with age comes wisdom. I've got a lot of wisdom. You need a friend with a store? Yeah, I'm really lucky. She actually used to be my sister-in-law. Don't tell anybody, but I kept the sister-in-law, and I like her better than the brother-in-law. So, but she's my ex-sister-in-law, and she is just a wonderful person. And I usually work for her sometimes a couple times a year too. She's just a good friend. I've known her for, oh my gosh, probably about 35 years now. Jeff and I will be celebrating our 40th anniversary this month. We got married in 1985, and I can hardly believe that it has been that long. How long have you guys been married? Any of you? Anybody more than 40 years? I'm sure there is. So we're doing another little bit here on the, you know, and that's something you can always go around and ask at stores. Some will let you, some, now my neighbor, she does painted stones, and she did a lot of like dogs and stuff like that. And she went to this like independent pet store here in town, and they carried her rocks for her. She does beautiful work on rocks. She does them with markers. She like freehands her stuff. If I got that. So we're doing the second coat of orange here on the carrots. And again, this is that spiced pumpkin, which could be spiced carrots too. And usually by the time that you get done, you know, when you're doing something this large, or even like with leaners and stuff like that, when you got a little different colors going on, by the time you get back to the first color, your other colors are dry. You don't typically have to dry it. But if it is a little wet to touch, you want to touch it and make sure to make sure it's dry, because if you're painting on wet paint, if you're swirling on wet paint, you're just going to push the paint around. It's not going to do any good, really. Oh, and I want to mention, too, thank you, Catherine. 48 years. That's awesome. Congratulations, Liz. I remember right before my mom passed away, they celebrated 50 years. Now, she's been gone 10 years. So they would be 60 years now. No, they'd be 61, I think. I guess it's going on 11 years. But she was so proud of that. I'll never forget her being in the ICU, and she was telling the doctors, she was on the BiCAP, you know, for her breathing. And she would do for 50 years. She'd been married 50 years. And she was really, really proud of that. But April did release probably about a month ago, maybe longer than that little mini that I showed you ahead of time. She released a really cute A lot of minis there. Little Valentine's minis. They have another one that I'm going to make. I've already got the canvas done. I just haven't got around to making it. But it's about you and me, a mixtape, that one. They're so cute. I made Jeff a mixtape when we were dating. I bought him a little Walkman, remember those? And made him a mixtape. I'm so proud of that. That's what you did back in the 80s, right? $45 if he's lucky. That's awesome. I like that idea, Sherry, the Stencil Smith store. We could just paint all day long. Which my sister and I, Heather, have tossed up. I don't know if it'll ever happen. This is just a toss up in the air. Like in the fall, maybe having some kind of retreat up where we're from with all my Stencil Smith stencils available and do some crafting together. But I don't know if it'll ever come to fruition, but we have talked about it. We've never done anything like that. And I think, geez, 2006. Well, you'll have your third, no, it's got to be 40 years. 6, no, that would be, I'm thinking of when my daughter was born. I can always remember how long the Stencil Smith's been around because that's when my daughter graduated. So that's very easy for me. Okay, so we've got that green there. And I think on this, rather than float some shade there, I'm going to take a little bit of light green on one side of it, this lighter green here. So I'm going to give it a quick little dry. And I'm just going to add a little bit of light green to that darker green. Because you can shade, you can float shade with a brush. You can also dry brush it on, which is phenomenal and usually pretty easy. And if you get too crazy and don't like it, you can go back and add your original color. It's only paint. So I think I'm going to get a smaller brush here, and I'm going to get this lighter green, and I'm going to offload. And I'm just going to go around and add a little bit of this light green, like I'm just swirling it in. Just very lightly. Like on one side of it, like light's hitting it, kind of. Let's see if I like that. Yeah, that's looking cute. I do this with leaves lots of times too, like the fall leaves that are changing. Sometimes I start with a green base with the leaves and then add color to it, just different like oranges and yellows and stuff like that. And you can just rub it with your finger if you get, I didn't offload that enough. And I'm just kind of adding it to like the one side. Leaving the other side kind of darkish green. And it's just a real easy way to add a little bit of color. A little bit of shading. I've had my hands in all kinds of paint today. I was all purple and pink before the live because I was doing that. So I'm just adding a little bit as I go along and checking it, and I think I like that. So I'm going to go over here to this side. So that's a really easy way to shade. Super, super easy. And I'm just doing it while we have the stencil on because it's easier. And I'm just doing, like I said, one side of it. Because usually the shadows hit at one place and the light hits at another. I don't think I offloaded enough there. And if you hate it, if you do it and you hate it, just go back and undo it. I've done that before too. But it makes it look a little bit more dimensional, not so flat. Okay, so we are going to take this off. What do you think, guys? You like that so far? See how we've got the shading of the, let's see if you can tell, the leaves a little bit, just a little bit. And let's see, we're gonna put that to the side. I'm gonna start on the bunny. And I am going to have to turn, let's see if I can turn it this way towards me. Let me see if I can flip it. I did it. Okay. Holy moly. I saw someone do that the other day. I was like, all these years of doing lives, I've never done that. So I'm going to do the bunny butt right now. And I'm going to start with a angle brush. I've got a 1/4 inch right here. So the 1/4 inch angle brush. And I'm going to just start kind of softening like the edges there. So I'm kind of laying it on the side, but so it's not so, you know, round. I'm just kind of like flicking it. Kind of like we do for the gnome beards. And I'm just kind of softening the lines on the outside. Like it's fur. And it's just kind of on the outside. Let me take a look at the, okay, I was looking at the, and we're probably not going to put the bunny tail on here because I have one of these cute little bunny tails to put on it. So yes, that's the trick to not having edges. You want to soften like the line, you know, so it's not so like straight. So you've just kind of got it on the side and you're just softening the lines. And I'm doing it in the same color as his underwear. Okay. He's going to have furry feet, and I'm using an angle brush, and I'm kind of using it on the side and just flicking it down. But you want to have some nice soft lines to start with. You don't want it to be so harsh. So we're going to start with that. I'm excited for my bunny. How about you guys? Okay. And we're going to start same thing. Kind of going the other way. I almost need to turn it kind of this way. It's funny how when you're painting, like sometimes when I'm closing bridges, I got to turn it. And this I got to kind of turn. But you're just softening those edges. I'm going on with just one more. Adding some more. Okay. Now I'm going to start with some white there. I'm going to rinse my brush out, but not like, you can have a little bit, kind of tap it out. You can still have a little bit of that tan on there, and I'm going to get some warm white. And I'm going to put that on my plate. And I'm going to start the same thing with the white. And see, as I'm adding, and it's the same thing, I'm just putting in, laying down his fur. And see, as you're doing that, all that's underneath, that tan, it's underwear. Look how it's looking. See how it's giving that tremendous dimension? And it does have a tail. This is going to be the overlay, but I am not going to use the tail because I have a palm for it, but the tail would be really pretty on there. And so we're just going to keep like, and then let's get a little bit more paint. And it's just like with the gnome beards. This makes that underwear, makes it look like it's got, you've already shaded it. It's really cool. And then let's bring it down. Over there, and these angle brushes are tremendous for it. And start kind of bringing it down. And you can use, you could use a rake brush for this after you did all this to make the fur finer if you wanted. But I like the look of this with the bunny. So let's just keep bringing it down. Just kind of slashing short, quick little, you're not coming all the way down, just short, quick little strokes. They're coming together here in the middle. But see how easy this is? I mean, it's super easy. It's not hard at all. And these brushes of April's, which if you don't have them, her base brush, her stencil brushes, her liner brushes, all of the brushes, they're just amazing. And you can go back over a little bit and add some more different places. And you could add other colors, but I really kind of like this. I think it's plenty. Okay. And you could totally try it. If you have not sprinkled, this guy right here is the Hello Spring, the bunny butt. Let's see. There we go. Because I've got everything upside down. That is the giveaway today if you sprinkle. The dimensions. Let me see. I cut it a little bit bigger than the stencil for the, let's see. It's 21 and a half by 14. 14 6/8. So I didn't want to, I use a lot of 1x12s, and I'm doing the same thing down here on the feet. But this stencil is a lot bigger than the 1x12. So if you want the furry feet, just bring it on down. Of course, we're going to put some little pink pads in the middle of it. But what I did was I got the stencil, I laid it out, and we had to go a little bit bigger because of the wood. Now I am gonna, because this would be on a dark background, so I'm gonna have to fill in those carrots there with the black. Because if you notice, like the sample's on black, so it fills in these parts of the carrot and it makes it look perfectly like a carrot. You know how you've got those darker little slashes on a carrot? So, and again with this, I'm just short slashy lines. And I start on the outsides and then I build in. Typically when I'm doing these, even the bunny butt. So you'll know how your fur is going. But yeah, we'll have a cute little palm for the butt. So we're doing, I don't know what we're doing on time. It's 5, so we're not doing too bad. On time. Okay. So what do you think of your bunny fur? Well, I guess I need to, because it's, what do you think of that so far? Oops, let's see. I'm not used to doing this angle. Does that look real? How cool is that? I really, really like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to swish this one out, this angle brush. And I am going to add a little black here. I think with my angle brush. I might need, let me see. This is really big and floppy. But I'm trying to color that in because I don't have the black background. So if you don't have the black background, you know what I need? I know what I need. I haven't used them in so long. I have these little pieces of flashing here. And then you could also add a couple more. Whoop, I went too wide. A couple more lines. Where's my wipe? Let me get a wipe. Wipes are your best friend when painting. So I went a little too wide there. And there. And then you want to fill in these little guys over here. And again, if you did this on a black background, you wouldn't even have to worry about it. But mine is not a black background, so I'm filling mine in. Which it might even be easier to do with like a round brush, a bigger round brush. That's what I didn't like. There we go, a little bit. So I'm just filling in these little places right there, just like that. You know what, let me try the bigger. I don't typically use my bigger round brushes, but I think it would work better in this, this area. Than that angle brush. And like I said, if you have this on a black background, you wouldn't have to do this. But it would look kind of silly if I left them open. Because if you, like I said, if you look at the sample, so we're just gonna fill that in there. And you may say, the heck with that, I'm just going to do it on a black background. But you know how they got those black or brown slashes in them? I honestly did not think of this when I was doing the blue background. But now that I've done it, I'm like, oh yeah. Straightening that one out. And I'm going to straighten that one out. It is a lot better. This is the number 2. So you're just kind of coloring in those little slash marks. I'm not leaving a bunch of paint on it. They're much easier. We'll do a couple of blades of grass, I think, in here with the rake brush. Some thinner little lines there. Okay. Let's get this guy over here. I'm getting really hot, guys. And it's only 20 out. I get to that point with my furnace. And in here, it's only on 1 bar, but it gets really warm in here really fast. We keep it going all the time on low. just because it's easier when, you know, to heat up the garage or to keep it heated up than like go from like 20 degrees. So, and I got a little white on that, so I'm going to use my little wipe right there. It's that easy. And then we'll be on the last carrot. That didn't take too awful long. And I do like the little slash marks made on the side with the angle brush better. I had more control than my round, but the round is tremendous for filling these in. Now I got too wide right there. Ah! Anybody having anything good for dinner tonight? I'm gonna make, I have this recipe for 15-minute chili, and it tastes like it's been simmering in the pot all day long, and it just is super quick. But the trick to it is that you, 1 can of beans you put in a food processor, so it makes the chili thicker, and it makes it taste like it's been simmering all day. It really makes it like bolder. Okay, so we got those filled in. And I am gonna get my little, and do not leave your liner or your, and I'm just gonna add a couple more like thin lines with like the tip of my brush. And they have them like, if you look at a carrot, they're like randomly. So I'm gonna add a little bit more over here. And you could do some shading, you know, if you wanted. And again, I'm just using the, I guess this is the toe of my brush, I think. Okay, so we've got a little bit, so those make it pop a little bit more. What do you guys think of that so far? And I rinsed it out, and I'm gonna set it to the side. So we've got the carrots looking a little more realistic. We got that dirt. I do want to add just a little couple blades of grass, and then we'll put the palm on. Let me get my glue gun heating up. I do need to close my bridges. I think I'll probably do that after the live. Did you say leftover meatloaf? Large chicken, ooh, pot roast. My dad would like to have dinner with you. He hates everything I cook just about. Ham, green bean, ooh, that sounds really good. Oh, the foot pads, thank you, Bonnie. Goodness. I'm reading everybody's, so we need to put the foot pads down. So this is the overlay, thank you so much, Bonnie. So he's all nice and dry, and his palm would go a little bit above his butt. So I'm gonna tape it down. I can't believe I forgot his foot pads. Thank you so much, Bonnie. And if anybody else said it, A 6.5 pound chicken. Oh my, cheeseburger. Ooh, I love cheeseburgers. Okay, so I'm gonna do my tape down there. Probably was like, and you would do this if you were painting it, but I'm not gonna paint it. I'm putting one on. So let's use, I've got this pretty pink here. It's called Cotton Candy. Let me get it good and nice and good and mixed up. And I got to get my razor knife. And I don't want to cut myself. I've already got one slice on my finger. I don't know where I sliced it. It wasn't on my razor knife. I think it's from dry hands. You know how the dry hands this time of year, it's horrible. So if you have not sprinkled, make sure to sprinkle. We appreciate the sprinkles. If you haven't, don't do it now, but if you haven't followed me and if you haven't followed April at the Stencil Smith, please make sure to do both after the live. This is Cotton Candy. Maybe, oh, there. Okay, I see. We got to hold it like that when it's upside down. Okay. So I'm going to add a little bit of cotton candy there. And that's what I'm going to do the pads of his foot in. Let me get, can't believe I almost forgot his foot pads. I didn't think I was done. I thought, well, that's weird. That's what my grandson says all the time. Finn, the 5-year-old, everything's weird. He's like, that's weird, Grandma. It's weird. So I am going to go in. And this is one of those cases where I should have probably, because I'll probably have to do a couple coats now, a coat of white or gray, because you can see how you can see the different colors underneath. So actually I might dry that, because that's what happens when you have two tones. So let me get a coat of white on there first. That's what happens, and it can be... Okay, I'm going to get a coat of white, and then we'll go over it with the pink. But a coat of white or a coat of gray really helps when there's a couple of different colors, if you lay a base layer down. So let's do that. And let's dry it. This is a little more pink white than anything. What did you think you were seeing, Sherry? Somebody did balloons. I must have missed something. It's something I said. You just saw balloons. I don't know. I didn't see any balloons. Let's see. I said foot pads, dry, white. I don't know. So let's get this nice pink on here. It's a pretty, real pretty soft pink, I think, for your Easter bunny. And again, make sure, yeah, I don't know what the balloons, that's really weird. And I almost should have used a gray, or you know what, I should have used the tan and went over that because they're still showing through. So I'm going to have to do a couple coats here. And then we'll float just a little bit of color because we're going to want some darker pink and some white around the edges. So let's, and you can dry over your stencil. Just move it around and don't put it like right down on it, or you will bubble it. You will warp it. I've never done it, but my grandson did it to one of mine once. And it was an accident, and he felt terrible about it. So what could you do? It's funny, the things that your kids did and you're like, oh. Your texts have started doing that. Cotton candy. I don't know. I don't know what I did. I talk a lot with my hands too. I was saying something to Jeff today in the kitchen and I was using my hands and I didn't even realize it. He's like, you're going like that. I'm like, well, I'm just animated. Right? I hear old Giuseppe's outside. He's barking up a storm out there. I'm probably going to have to do 3 coats of this cotton candy, just so the fur won't show underneath. Piece here. It wasn't cotton candy. I don't know what it was, Bonnie. Oh. Oh, no. Okay, I'm back. For some reason, it went to Julie. Oh, let me see here. I don't know what I just did here. Okay, hold on a minute. Julie Zello, thank you for sprinkling. I was trying to do something and I do not dance very well, so. I don't have the moves. In my head, I do when I'm in here alone dancing in my garage while I'm, you know, I have my music playing and I paint a little and I dance a little, but in reality, I don't think it's as pretty as it looks in my head. You know, you've seen those where what my friend and I think we look like, and it's like what we really look like. Those reels. I look like what we really look like. Okay, so we got those foot pads on there. And I do want to add a little bit of this. I think I'm going to add a little bit of dark pink there. And I am putting my brushes in my baggie to keep them moist with a wet wipe. And I'm going to get my angle brush. I want to make sure I have all my black out of it though. And I'm going to get a little bit of this pink here. It's watered down. Okay. And I'm going to take just a little bit of this darker pink. It is dragon fruit pink. And I'm going on the outside of these foot pads. I'm going to get a little bit more water. And this is palette paper. And I'm just doing it on one side of it. You can use your finger to kind of rub it in there. A little bit of shading. And I'm going to put a little bit of white on this side, like the light and the shadow. And I'm getting, I guess I need a little bit more white. Yeah, I need some more white. That's all dry. And you can do a wet palette with your paint. And I'm just going to work that out on my brush. It's a wet brush, so the paint's diluted. And I'm going to bring it down on this side of the pad. And it's like the light's hitting it. That looks really nice. And then you could also bring a little bit of that white down on one side of the carrot. I got a little bit out here. And it's just real diluted, this paint. And if I have enough, I'm going to do it here. I'm going to get a little bit more. But it just kind of makes it look like where the light's hitting it. And I might get a little bit, I think, I don't have any of that orange out, but a little bit of that orange that I used for the carrot, and add just a dab of black. So it's not quite black. And I'm going to do the same thing. It's wet. And you could use like a cranberry kind of color on that. And I'm going to go on the other side of these carrots. It's very wet. And this is like where the shadow's hitting them. So you've got the light hitting it on one side and the shadows hitting it on the other. And it really brings your stuff to life when you do that. And if you don't like it, you can stencil all over it and start again. Like I said, it's only paint. Okay, so we got our little paws done. Do you think I should leave my lettering in white? I feel like it's not quite bright enough. I don't know. But I think, or do you think black would not be very springy? Or we could do a green. So I'm going to put the palm right here. So I have, and I did put the link ahead of time. Oh, good idea, Sherry. Sherry wants me to shadow where the carrot meets the ground. Oh, I wanted to put a couple of blades of grass there. Then we'll put the palm on. I swear, then we're done. So I'm getting that same mixture. And just right down here, where the carrot's at, just adding a little bit of that. But all those little things, just add a little bit. You can add a little bit down underneath your bunny. There we go. Okay. So let's add a couple blades of grass here and there with the rake brush. And then we're going to put the palm on and we're done. We're not doing anything radical. The rake brush is this fantastic brush right here. See the little, how it's separate? You want to get your paint out. I think I'll use a little bit of both greens, excuse me. me get a little bit of green out here on my palette paper. And this is foliage green. Ooh. And I'm going to get my brush wet, and I'm going to put some water on there because you want to thin your paint, and you'll know. So it's like the consistency with water of ink. And then you can get that in there and you can wiggle it out. You just push it down. And you could add a couple little, and this is the light. I probably should have done the dark first. And I'm just adding a couple little wisps of grass. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to get the dark, which right here is this forest green. And I'll put a little bit out there. And apparently on my finger. I guess I was needing a manicure. And I'm getting the water and I'm thinning the paint. And you push you don't push this down straight, but you wiggle it. You push it down at the side and wiggle it to separate those, see how that separates it? And so we're gonna take that and we're gonna just add a couple more little wisps. Oh, I got some paint there. Of grass. And I'm just painting it like straight up and down. So what do you think? Do you like that? Adding the little bit of grass there too? And with the two different colors, you got a lighter and darker. I should have started with the darker and then done the lighter. Let me get my little, is it still wet? Getting my green off of there. Okay, so what do you think so far? Do you like that? Oh, thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate that. Thank you, Vicki. Nothing radical, everyone. Okay, so now I have to remember to add the tail. That's what I was going to do before I had the foot pads, but thanks to Bonnie. Thank you, thank you. I'm sure I would have, sometimes I look up and I'm like, oh. Now where did I put my tail? Okay, here it is. Try not to get green paint. So these are awesome, and I did link, I did put the link above, so when this posts, there will be a link that you could buy these, but they come in a pack. There's quite a few of them, I think maybe 12, and they have all kinds of fun, but look how much movement it has, and I'm going to put that there as his tail. You could even get a pink one. They have some tie-dyed ones. They have all kinds of different colored ones, but they are absolutely adorable. And so I'm going to put his little bunny tail on because he's going to be 3D. He's going to be rocking that fluffy butt. A bunny's the only one who wants a fluffy butt, right, guys? We don't want fluffy butts. Okay. So let me get, so now this is where my frame comes in, which I stained ahead of time in the Jacobian stain. I think that's what's called, Jacobian or Jacobine, maybe. This is the stain, and you can get it at Home Depot, Jacobine. Oh, I guess I got to hold it upside down. So that's the stain that I used. So I am going to flip this, I think. Let me see if I can do this again. Okay. Oh, I'm so proud of myself. I did it. I've been wanting to do that. Okay, so this is the frame that I made with my sister. And so this panel, this 1/4 inch panel, I haven't glued it yet. Yeah, that's the way it's going to fit, right? Hold on a minute. Yeah. So we didn't go all the way with the router, as you can see, on both ends, So at the top of this frame, like here, that one will be hidden. But if you go all the way through with your router on the one side, you won't have this nice smooth edge. Oh, thank you. Rocking your fluffy butt. I like that. I haven't seen that one. Okay, so I'm going to put this on here, and it does fit. But so this is really nice. So with my router now, I can make these frames rather than order them from other places. And it was really easy to make. So this is going to go in the frame. And it'll be glued in there. But just to show you how cute this is going to be. And my sister Heather and I made this. And it does fit. Hold on a minute. There was a lot of measuring that went, because you had to allow for the depth of the... Why is this not... Hold on a minute, guys. It does fit. I know it does. There we go. Okay. What do you think? Look at that. I'm really, really proud of that. So this is, I'm going to... Up here. And so this is it with the frame. Look how stinking cute that is. A router and a router table. I'm going to flip it and I'll show you what I have. See, I'm not glued in there, so it's coming out. But I mean, is that not adorable? But this is right. Ignore the rest of my garage. See if I'm going the right way. I don't even know. There it is. So that's the router table, and the router's underneath it. And boy, oh boy. He's watching Danny and his stock shows. He cracks me up. Let me get that back on there. I just had it on. Okay, guys. It's like making a laughing stock out of me, but it does fit really good. But yes, if you have that, there it is. If you have, I don't know why it's not going in. There we go. But that is adorable. So thank you. Yeah, the frame turned out really nice. So I love doing the faux frame. And so this stencil, the one we just did, number 8776, large, is going to be on sale today and tomorrow for 20% off. And you can save with my code SIGNSHACK, SIGNSHACK. And I'm going to show you a couple other Easter things here. Real quickly, before April, if you have not sprinkled, which means to do this, make sure you do this, and write sprinkled in the comments. Yes, it does, Lynn. And I can get a lot of different size frames out of that sand ply, and the sand ply wasn't too terribly. And then this was a 1x, I believe. So anyhow, so let me show you. Now, this one is another cute little bunny one. So it's got the 3 bunnies, and I love this guy with his little ear, these guys with the ears going down, and it's got the little fluffy butts. And you could use those little palms for this as well, like the real small ones that are smaller you could use for these bunny butts. This is number, let's see, what is this? This is number 8703, and this is the 5-inch. Now, if you saw Donna Stark's beautiful bunnies that she did, which I've been meaning to make, she cut the bunnies out of this. So the bunnies this size, and then she stenciled them. And these are, I've got 2 different sizes, but these are the bunnies with the mandala on them, or mandala, depending on the day. So this is number 9319, and this is the 9-inch. There's many different sizes. I have this size, and I have a bigger size because my intention was maybe this, no, one's bigger. Sometimes I do that. I know somebody was talking about buying the same ones. I have done that, and then usually Heather gets lucky. Yeah, Mother's Day, Judy, Mother's Day. Thank you, April. I appreciate that. And this is another super cute bunny with the plaid. Look how adorable he is. Springtime, and you know, he's got the overlays, and then he's got the plaid look going on. And he or she, I'm thinking a he, would look super cute with a little bow tie, I think, too. Don't you think he could rock a bow tie? He's very cute, and he is number 9326. 9326. I'm going to set him aside. And then I pop this in. This is not an Easter bunny, but it's one of my favorite little spring ones. I've made this one a lot. 6775. It's a mini. This is the 5.5 inches, and this is Every Birdie Welcome. How cute is that? Every birdie welcome. That's right. You can get an early present, Bonnie. Yes, Heather always lucks out from my shopping cart mistakes. She does. And so this one is super cute too. A nice spring one. I haven't done yet, but it's adorable. 9369. And this is a small. And this is spring with the flowers and the butterfly. And it's got the boots, the rubber boots. And look at the little polka dots. And this is one that Heather did luck out on because I bought 2 of these. So you did that one with the scroll saw? Oh, I love that. I love my scroll saw. I'm getting pretty good at that one. And this last one, now we have spring, fall, winter, or maybe it's Christmas. It's Believe, I think is what it is, because I did it on a live. But these are so cute. It's spring, and look, it's got the little umbrella with the birdhouse, and the tulip, and the butterfly, and then the bunny. How cute is that bunny? Just peeking over there, over the G. And it's got the overlay. There's the little bunny. Look at the little bunny face. And that is number, this is a newer one. I think it might have been last year, a new release. 9340, a medium. And these are really cute. I like all of these. Yeah, the bunny with the plaid is beautiful. So those are all I have to show you today. I wanted to show you some spring things since we're doing some bunny. So we're going to pull, and don't forget, like I said, if you order this one, to use my code SIGNCHECK, SIGNSHACK, and you can order that cute little bunny stencil right there. And I would love to see your bunny creation and your bunny butt. And I did post the bunny palms in the link above too, if you wanted to buy those. I love these palms. They're really for like hats, the knit hats. You're welcome, Bonnie. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining. And if you come back next week, we'll have another hopefully fun, wonderful live. I try every week to bring you something a little bit new. Sherry's doing the drums. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Danica. April is spinning the wheel. I know there's so many cute stencils. Thank you, Vicki. It landed on Catherine Scott. So Catherine Scott, you are the winner. Congratulations. Please make sure you message April. And thank you, Sherry. And we'll see you again next week. I appreciate all of you so much. Hi, Stacy. I didn't see you there. But thank you all so much for joining, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.